All right, so this is going to be a Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, and as well Capricorn Rising. A weekly general tarot reading February 1st up until February 7th, 2021. And should any of you guys be interested in a personal reading with me, or you want to take my tarot classes, you can check out the description down below, and there you are going to see a link to my website from which you can either view or straight away, purchase either of these services. So with that being set aside, let's move straight away to the reading. Now, the first card that you do have for the week, Capricorn, that is going to be the Page of Cups. Moving next is the Hangman, followed by the Five of Swords. Afterwards, what we do have, that is to be the Ace of Swords. And the last one for you guys, we have the Three of Wands. So quite of an interesting read here for what I can say. And to be frank with you, I do not remember what I told you last week, because there are so many readings. But I have the feeling that this is kind of like a continuation to your previous week. And you are starting this one right off the back with, oh my God, I kind of like messed my card around. Oh my. Okay, so you are starting the week off with this individual here. And that is going to be the Page of Cups. So, Page of Cups. They are very miserable when they are not emotionally attached or connected with something. And in this particular case, that is going to be either something you do, or you have as a goal, idea, project, business, or you straight away. So yeah, it's kind of like safe to say that this individual either loves your work or they do love you. Now, let's talk about, or rather like let's address the elephant in the room with the Page of Cups. The problem there, or the problem with the Page of Cups, it is that they don't see the problem. That is literally the problem. What they see when they are with you, for example, if it is about relationship, all that they see is how beautiful the relationship can end up at, okay? Or how successful the business can be. But what they don't see, it is the obstacles along the way, or what is, what are the differences in between you two that cannot be made compromise with? What are the details of the work, of the project that it is preventing from being successful? So this is something that they do not see, or they are not attentive to at this particular moment. While you, Capricorn, from my personal experience, for what I can say, that's all about you, or you are all about that, seeing the details, seeing what isn't right at this given moment and work it around. So through that cooperation with the Page of Cups, you and the Page of Cups itself, you both are going to, how can I say, throughout the week, you both are going to start reassessing your positions. And in the ideal case, they are going to be able to look the situation from your view, or from your point of view. You're going to do the same from their point of view. You both are going to start wearing each other's shoes, walk a mile, and then, ideally find the best possible common ground out there. And that leads us to the next card, which is the Hangman here. And the Hangman, it's as a follow-up, it's simultaneously pleasant and unpleasant. I was about to say positive and negative, but there are no such thing in tarot as a positive and negative cards. There are pleasant cards, pleasant expression of the card, and unpleasant expression. So why it's pleasant? Well, it's pleasant because as you do start cooperating with the Page of Cups, you both are going to see that many of your concerns, that are standing in between you two, are just gonna resolve themselves on their own accord. Only thing you gotta do is just wait about it or how can I say, you just have to use to be with one another, to work together, or to share your life together, etc., etc. Now that is the breakthrough. The test, however, it is the other portion of the concerns which are not going to be resolved on their own accord. And with the Hangman, it's all about view and vision, okay? It's all about perspective here. You need to realize or to adopt to a fair large or a fair extent their perspective, and they have to do the same thing about you as well. And that way, the test is going to be completed, the test of compatibility, if you will. And yeah, I mean, and from there, the things are not most likely, but definitely going to work out. Just hold on a second to see if the camera is running, because I was having quite a large issue today with that. So yeah, stupid Apple update. Anyway, so moving next, we do have the Five of Swords, and that happens right after, you know, the realization of the breakthrough and the test itself. And the Five of Swords here tells us a very short story, really, and it kind of points to that after you do realize, you know, what is going to be a problem and what is going to be resolved on its own accord, you both are identifying kind of like a boundaries. You know, you both, with the Page of Cups, are setting a very accurate and fair limits of how far you can stretch into the business or into the relationship. So at the end of the day, you don't end up in a relationship which is going to be a bitter relationship. You don't be successful into the business by sacrificing, you know, your friendship, for example, or your good terms, and etc., etc. But here with the Five of Swords is all about trying to find the exact way, you know, how the things are going to work in between you two, regardless if it's going to be about romance or career. So it's can serve both of you, and at the end of the road here, or at jumping into the next cycle, you're not going to feel humiliated, deprived. You're not going to feel like, you know, you have placed the great hopes into something that could never develop in such a way, or you have not placed your trust into somebody that doesn't deserve it, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of like defining, you know, to how far you can go with this person based on the perspective you're going to get, based on as well the reassessment of oneself, and all the evidence that you are going to do to have, which are to be given to you by this Page of Cups. And that will also happen from their side of you as well. Now, Five of Swords, it's a bit heavy card here, okay, because it kind of points that you can definitely make the things work with the Page of Cups. How you're going to make them work, though, it is the real question, because making them work, they may not work in your favor, all right? Just making something work, it doesn't mean that it's going to work in your favor. Just saying. And right after that, right after the Five of Swords comes the Ace of Swords, and that is the moment where all is, how can I say, placed on the table, if I may say. So you kind of like realize the stretch of the whole thing, you know, how far it can go, and under what conditions it can go forward. And the Ace of Swords is about displaying that thing out in front of the page. The page does the same thing toward you. So the Ace of Swords kind of sheds a light on the true state and diagnosis on the situation where you are at. Also, it displays what kind of an actions you will have to take. This is where you're going to know those actions, okay? Some of these actions and some of these decisions, you know, you may find a little bit drastic, a little bit radical as well. And the whole point of it is so the strength of your spirit is to be trusted. Do you have what it takes to do what makes you happy, or do you not? Because happiness doesn't come on its own accord. You actually have to toil for it. Everybody knows that. But with the Ace of Swords, it's about the reality. This is where the reality hits, and under hits I mean comes. It doesn't mean that you're going to suffer from it or anything like that. It is just you do kind of like I said, you have been addressed with criticism, for example, from the Page of Cups. You do the same thing toward them as well. And here the strength of your spirit is going to be tested. Can you endure that criticism or can you not? and if you can't, we do have an expression here, you know, one who is mad to somebody else, they always have their bag empty. Okay, so being angry of somebody just because they spoke the truth, because we do have the truth here that is to be served with the Ace of Swords, it's not a valid argument. I mean, it's the truth. Okay, and you can only make a point of it. You can only learn from it to be, for example, a better person, or how to align. And from there, like I said, your spirit is to be tested. Can you do it? Because it will seem a little bit of a drastic, a little bit radical, but not by a large margin. And at the end of the week here, we do have the Three of Wands. And this is where you, Capricorn, kind of step on a very well-established plan, or I would say pattern, foundation, that happens in between you and that page. So all of the criteria have been talked about, you know, all of the impressions, or rather like the presumptions that you and the page have for the future are aligned as well. And it will seem that whatever you want to get at with the page of Cups here, either being together or establishing a good business, you know, they will seem challenging. But that is going to be the beauty of it with the Three of Wands, because it seems challenging. It seems that something that is going to be difficult to pull through, but you are going to have no doubt, neither in yourself nor in the Page of Cups, that it can be pulled through. It can be accomplished, and it definitely can completely correlate and be reciprocal with your expectations, the real expectations here, okay? Not the very first expectations that you both had of the ideal situation, or I don't know how you say it in English actually, you know, the perfect situation, but the real here, the real situation, the reality, and all of those expectations fulfilled in the future, should you again decide to walk that path with the Page of Cups. So that being said, Capricorn, this was your weekly general tarot reading, guys. Hopefully you do enjoyed it and you do liked it, and we are to see each other next time. Until then, bye.